Joe Biden is evidently hopping mad. At least this is according to Politico. The cranky old guy who I thought was mad most of the time is evidently madder than usual. His come on mans are becoming even more intense. His staccato outbursts are becoming even more strident. Here's the title of the article. Biden wants to get out more, seething that his standing is now worse than Trump's. So the article as it goes on says that Biden is very angry. He thinks that Trump is the worst president in U.S. history. And now he notices something a little dismaying. His public approval ratings are lower than Trump's ever were. So he goes, how can that be? Now, obviously, one reasonable conclusion is that Biden, by your own measure, you're worse than Trump. Because after all, if the American people are the honest judge of whether or not their lives are going well, I mean, what's the president elected to do if not look out for the American people? And if, according to you, Trump was the worst and his ratings were, let's say, 41% or 42%, and yours are now 39, well, that's the American people delivering a verdict, at least for now, on the fact that you're an even bigger buffoon, even a bigger failure, a bigger loser than Trump ever was. And so but Biden can't look at it that way, of course, because according to him, he's amazing. And all these things happening everywhere, all these Jimmy Carter-esque disasters, soaring inflation, stagnant economy, frozen market, rising fuel prices, ineptitude on the international front, people falling out of planes, Afghanistan in the hands of the Taliban, billions of dollars of equipment left behind, all of this. Morasses on the foreign policy front, disasters on the domestic front, an open border, crime rates soaring in major cities, making life virtually unlivable. All of this is going on at the same time. Biden's point, none of it has to do with him. So then you have to ask, well, who does it have to do with? You can't really blame the Republicans. They don't control the House. They don't control the Senate. They don't control the White House. So apart from, say, Supreme Court decisions, which you can perhaps blame on the conservative majority, this is something that the Democrats and Biden have to take responsibility for. And so Biden thinks, no, the solution is for me, Joe Biden, to get out. I need to get out of Washington. I need to present myself to the American people. And evidently one of the phrases that his sycophantic aides have come up with, it's called let Biden be Biden. Let Charles Manson be Charles Manson, let Jimmy Carter be Jimmy Carter. I don't really think there's a solution here, but evidently what Biden wants to do is he wants to get out. He wants to get on the road. He wants to go first to California. Then he wants to go to New Mexico. And he wants to take his case directly to the American people. I think this is truly fantastic because I actually think that Biden, this is a guy where, I think it was Joe Rogan who described Biden as a guide, kind of a hiking leader who's taking you on a long journey with a very, with a bulb with its battery virtually gone. And Biden is essentially ineptitude, a failing battery, interrupted just by that kind of cranky viciousness that you sometimes associate with old people who have just decided that they don't care, their life doesn't matter anymore, nobody else matters to them, they don't mind if the whole world collapses, they've just got this kind of I'm out of here attitude, and it comes through with Biden. So I think for Biden to show himself to the American people is to show the American people what an absolute jerk he is, what a callous, old, mean, vicious man he is. And he encapsulates in some way the callousness of his own party, because this isn't just a kind of personal attitude on Biden's part. It's reflected in Biden's policies. He simply doesn't care. So people go, well, man, I don't even know if I can afford to drive to work. I'm going to have to call my boss and tell him, can I work at home? Because I can't afford the gas to get to work driving 40 miles or 50 miles every day. Biden doesn't care. he'll say things like, well, get used to it. We're trying to phase out of this kind of fossil fuel type of business. Or inflation. He goes, what inflation? What are you talking about? People are doing great. So this is the attitude of someone essentially detached from reality. Wedded to what? Wedded instead to a kind of ideology being pushed by the left. And I don't think really Biden's doing a whole lot of pushing. They're pushing him, but he's obviously willing to be pushed. And so you've got this kind of whole insidious, corrupt operation in the White House. And if they want to show that corruption and insidious before the American people, my view is, let's do it, guys.